So, guys, there's been calls for the ANC Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana to step down after he has basically messed up the national budget. Political parties like the DA, the EFF, Umkhonto weSizwe Party, and other civil organizations have not been shy to express their dissatisfaction with Enoch Godongwana's incompetence and arrogance. And guys, you remember when this whole VAT fiasco started? It started with a leak from the Government of National Unity. You remember that time when the ANC was accusing the DA of leaking the information of the GNU to the media. It was that time when this leak went out, and this leak said the ANC Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana wants to propose that the VAT should be increased by 2 percentage points. This is what that leak said. The ANC Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana wants to propose that the VAT should be increased by 2 percentage points. So today, I honestly get surprised when I see the ANC via Fikile Mbalula telling South Africans that the ANC was never for the VAT hikes. The ANC, no. The ANC was never for the VAT hikes. I guess Fikile Mbalula forgets that when this whole debate of the budget started, the DA said, guys, you cannot expect South Africans to continue to pay. These are some of the things that you can cut, and if you can cut these things, you're gonna save a lot of money. You remember that budget of the DA that was proposed to the ANC, and the ANC said, to hell with this. Fikile Mbalula went out to the press conference and said that the DA want us to cut, but the ANC does not believe in cutting, meaning that Ramaphosa is okay with that bloated cabinet. They are okay with the perks of the ministers. They are okay with the perks of the members of parliament. They don't want to cut anything. This is what Fikile Mbalula is saying, basically defending those VAT hikes. Fikile Mbalula forgets that the ANC went to the courts to defend the VAT hikes. Fikile Mbalula forgets that there is a letter that went to the media again, and this letter was sent to the Speaker of the Parliament, Tokodidiza, explaining why these VAT hikes are so important. Fikile Mbalula forgets that the president of this country, Ramaphosa, was standing live on national television and trying to convince South Africans that, guys, you need to pay more because we need to hire more doctors, we need to improve the service delivery, we need to pay the grants. And these are just some of the reasons that they were given for these VAT hikes. But today, if you listen to Fikile Mbalula says that no, the ANC was never for the VAT hikes. Fikile Mbalula forgets that the ANC went outside of the GNU to get the partners that are going to help them to get the fiscal framework that consisted of the VAT hikes over the line. He totally forgets about that. He forgets about that. But today, if you listen to him, he will tell you that the ANC is never about the VAT hikes. So going back to that leak, you remember after that leak, the DA went out and said that, guys, we have successfully stopped the ANC from proposing that the VAT should be increased by 2 percentage points. The DA was basically celebrating to say that there is absolutely no way that the ANC is going to pass this fiscal framework without the support of the DA, because this fiscal framework of them, it is nonsensical. The DA was like, celebrate with us, guys, celebrate with us. We have essentially put the ANC to the corner. And other small political parties from the Government of National Unity, instead of coming out to condemn the ANC for trying to impose the 2 percentage point VAT increase on South Africans, they attacked the DA. This is what these people do. Instead of condemning the ANC for trying to make things even worse for the people of this country that are not working, the people of this country that are already dealing with the high cost of living, these political parties, they said, no, we are not going to say anything about the ANC, but we are going to attack the DA. And basically said that, no, the DA, it is disingenuous of them to try to say that they are the only ones who literally stopped the ANC from proposing this. We, as small political parties, we fought with the ANC and we told the ANC that we are not going to support this fiscal framework of yours. So the DA must not take the credit by themselves. You remember Gayton McKenzie angry that we also fought. We also fought the ANC. But these are the same small political parties that ended up voting for the fiscal framework that consists of 0.5 VAT increase over the next 2 years. They forget about that. They totally forget about that. So it was quite fascinating to see. it was quite fascinating to see the political parties in this country are taking a political party that is claiming victory, the political party that managed to put the ANC to the corner to say that, guys, you cannot expect the people of this country to continue paying while you guys are not even doing your bit. You are not cutting. You guys are not dealing with corruption. You are not dealing with the people that are costing South Africans the billions, but you continue to expect the South Africans to put their money down the toilet. And what did the ANC do? What did the ANC do when they found themselves in a corner? The ANC, the same ANC that said that the DA has defined themselves out of the GNU. They went outside the GNU to find the partners, to find the lakeys like Action SA and Build One South Africa, to say that, guys, you need to help us to get this fiscal framework over the line. And these lakeys, Musi Maimane and Herman Mashaba, they went out and said that, guys, we're going to vote for this fiscal framework of the ANC that has the VAT increase, because we believe that in 30 days, the ANC finance minister is going to come back with a revised budget that does not have the VAT increase. This is what these people actually wanted South Africans to believe, that in 30 days, the ANC could come back with a revised budget that does not have the VAT increase. And these people were beating their chest to say that, guys, we are giving the ANC the propositions and we are telling the ANC what they need to cut. And it was so sad because the ANC has already told these people that they don't believe in cutting. Cyril Ramaphosa, at that time, when he was confronted about the deputy ministers, to say that, guys, what is the purpose of these deputy ministers? Cyril Ramaphosa went out and said that he's not going to get rid of the deputy ministers. He's not going to get rid of the deputy ministers. Basically doubling down on what Fikile Mbalula said by saying that the ANC does not believe in cutting. But at that time, when you listened to Herman Mashaba and Musi Maimane, you could swear that these people were naive to all of these things that the ANC was saying. These people tried to convince South Africans that the ANC does not believe in VAT hikes. But at every turn, the ANC would actually contradict these people. The finance minister went out to say that, guys, I believe in the VAT hikes, because if I didn't believe in these VAT hikes, I would doubt my fiscal framework. This is what Godongwana said. If there were any alternatives, meaning that these proposals of these small political parties do not matter, if there were any alternatives, then I would doubt my fiscal framework. This is what Godongwana said, basically saying that these proposals of these small political parties do not matter. They do not matter. And the EFF and the DA, they said, no, we are not going to allow you to do that. We are not going to allow you to do that. We're going to take you to the courts. And this was after these small political parties had actually voted for this fiscal framework. The EFF and the DA said, no, we're going to take you to the courts. And Godongwana, because he realized that he could not win this court case against the DA and the EFF, he decided to settle out of court. He decided to settle out of court because he could not handle the embarrassment, him and the treasury. But the ANC still, they went out and called a press conference and called these lakeys of small political parties and tried to make these people feel good about the fact that the VAT was rescinded. To say that, guys, it was because of you, it was because of your proposals that these VAT hikes were actually rescinded, forgetting that they actually went to the courts to defend the VAT hikes. So these small political parties, instead of being wise and trying to understand that the ANC almost destroyed them, they went out and said that, guys, yeah, we are beating our chest. The ANC finally listened to us. The ANC finally listened to us. The VAT hikes being rescinded, it has nothing to do with the court cases. This is what these people told the South Africans. It was a mess. It was a mess. So now that there's been calls for Godongwana to step down, the man says that, no, there's absolutely no way I'm going to resign. Godongwana says that I'm not going to resign. I'm not going to resign because if you look at this article, it says that, and this article was actually released on the 4th of April. It says that South African Finance Minister Godongwana said on Thursday he will not resign after the government U-turn on a planned VAT, despite opposition calls for him to quit. Quote, "My job is to introduce money bills. Nothing says they must be popular," he told the Reuters on the sidelines of the International Monetary Fund and World Bank spring meetings in Washington in the United States. Godongwana, who landed in the United States capital this week, already grappling with the worst rift in South Africa and US relations in decades, was forced on Thursday to scrap a rise in VAT that threatened the stability of the ruling coalition government. The proposal to give the VAT by 1 percentage point over 2 years, which was intended to boost the state revenue, met a resistance as Africa's most industrialized economy grapples with sluggish growth and public discontent over rising living costs. The about 10 blows a 75 billion rand in the hole in the medium-term budget and leaves Godongwana with the task of drawing what he said was a, quote, a different fiscal framework in line with the new realities of revenue and spending. So when Godongwana says that this is a different fiscal framework in line with the new realities, this new realities, it is something that the ANC is failing to understand, that they are no longer in government anymore. They are no longer in charge of this country, because if you listen to the ANC, the arrogance of the ANC, they still believe that they have won the elections. This is one thing that the ANC does not understand, that they have lost the elections. The ANC does not want to admit that they have lost the elections. So Godongwana says that we have to draw a different fiscal framework in line with the new realities of revenue and spending. The article continues to say that, quote, I still maintain that if the purpose of the which the VAT was raised is taken into account, its reversal will still have a negative impact on those issues that cannot be disputed. So Godongwana still believes in the VAT, because he says that I still maintain that if the purpose for which the VAT was raised is taken into account, its reversal will have a negative impact on those issues that cannot be disputed. The revamped fiscal framework will be keenly watched by S&P Global Ratings, which currently has a positive outlook on South Africa. A credible outcome could secure the first credit upgrade for South Africa in 2 decades, while the opposite could raise future borrowing costs and dent investor appetite for the country. So guys, Godongwana is telling you that he's not going to resign, despite basically humiliating our country, despite humiliating his own government, humiliating the ANC. He's telling us that, no guys, I'm not going to resign. I'm not going to resign. So when you listen to these small political parties telling you that they were never for the VAT hikes, please do not believe these small political parties. Do not believe these small political parties when they say that they were never for the VAT hikes, because I know this is what these people are going to say in 2026. This is exactly what these people are going to say going into 2026, that we were never for the VAT hikes. We were never for the VAT hikes. But you must always remember this iconic video of these people dancing in parliament. You must always remember this iconic video of these people dancing with the ANC for the fact that they managed to raise the VAT on South Africans. Look how happy Gayton McKenzie is. Just look at how happy Gayton McKenzie is. The man was literally happy. He was literally happy. These people were caught on camera dancing. They were caught on camera dancing because they managed to they almost increased the VAT rates on South Africans. And these are the people, guys, in parliament. These are the people that are paid over 100,000 rands every month. These are the people that are given the perks that even you, as a South African, you will never smell the perks of these people in parliament. So I don't understand why is it so hard for these people to actually understand that we need to cut in government. No, they don't believe in cutting in government. They don't believe in cutting in government. So Godongwana said that he's not going to resign, but it was not only Godongwana who defended himself, because the president of the country, Ramaphosa, basically defended Godongwana to say that, no, guys, you have to understand that South Africa is a new economy. South Africa is a growing economy. So these are the growing pains that we have to deal with. But it doesn't mean that Godongwana has to resign. This is what the president said.
Well, the Minister of Finance yesterday said it was a mess. in the way that the whole process of VAT evolved and finally the turnaround on VAT. Now, we are a young and developing democracy still, and the government of national unity also gives rise to a number of challenges that we have to deal with. But this moment has also given all of us as South Africans to be able to interface with the budget, because more than anything else, it is the budget rather than the VAT issue. We need to look at how the budget, one, is constructed, what it aims to do and achieve. So South Africans now have been commenting on the money issues, on the budget. That, in my view, is the maturing of our democracy. In the past, it just used to be a one-way type of process.
And this is how the ANC would actually prefer it, to be a one-way. The ANC is sick and tired of speaking with other political parties to actually get things like the budget over the line. They are sick and tired with being reminded every day that they lost the elections. They are being reminded, they are sick and tired of that. They are sick and tired of that. So do not listen to Ramaphosa when he pretends like the fact that today we can speak about the VAT, everybody can speak about the VAT, other political parties and organizations and South Africans in general can speak about the VAT, and this is a good thing. No, do not listen to Ramaphosa when he said that. He's only saying that because the ANC has lost the elections. The ANC has lost the elections, and this is the reason why now even political parties have their say in the VAT, because in the previous years, it doesn't matter what you said. The ANC was going to pass what they wanted to pass anyway. And I'm happy that he actually acknowledged that.
Now, the budget process is now being opened up for institutions, political parties, as well as ordinary people to comment. So we've drawn a lot of lessons from all.
I mean, guys, do you actually believe that the ANC has actually learned something from these two fiscals that were actually turned down? Do you actually believe that the ANC has learned something? Because me personally, I don't think that the ANC has actually learned anything, because these people continue to be arrogant. These people continue to pretend like they are still in the government. You remember yesterday we did an update. No, it was not yesterday, 2 days ago. We did an update about the tension that is happening inside the ANC and the fact that there are people inside the ANC that are calling for the Democratic Alliance to be kicked out of the government of national unity. And one of the reasons why these people are saying that the Democratic Alliance needs to be kicked out of the government of national unity is because the DA does not respect the government. The DA is trying to undermine the government. So they believe that they are the government and the other political parties are not the government. It is only them that they are the government, forgetting that they have actually lost the elections. They are now a 39% political party. They are no longer a 53, 57 political party, a 39% political party. But when they talk about other political parties, they like to pretend as if they did these political parties a favor. This is how the ANC speaks. So I'm struggling to understand what is it that the ANC has learned that they have failed to learn in the past 30 years. I don't think that this political party has actually learned anything. This is the reason why in the previous videos I used to say that these people, they need to be kicked outside of the power entirely, because there's no way that these people can go through this bogus renewal process at the expense of South Africans. They keep telling South Africans that we want to do better, we want to get rid of these thugs, we want to get rid of these corrupt people, and the ANC might actually go through a renewal process, but we cannot allow these people to actually go through the renewal process at the expense of South Africans.
This. And because we are drawing a lot of lessons from all this, this is something that we need to take on board, and it doesn't lead to a Minister of Finance resigning or stepping down. No, it should be on all of us to say, what lessons are we learning from this, and what is it that we can do, that we can strengthen, learn from the budgetary process. Now, this happens in many other more developed, say, if you like, economies and democracies. Now, this moment has now come to us. Next year's budget is going to be a process where South Africans, I would say many of them, will now inform themselves about the various components of the budget and what they aim to achieve and how expenditure is going to be deployed. And the revenue part of the budget, where the
And to be honest, it's quite, I don't want to lie, man, it's quite hard to actually believe when these people talk about how the revenue is going to be deployed. Because if you look at them, they actually have a history of the past 30 years passing these budgets. But now, in 2025, they want to tell you that, no, this time around, we are serious about how this revenue is going to be deployed. This is the reason why I said that that leader from IFP, Hlabisa, I mean, I don't know if Hlabisa is naive or what, because Hlabisa was basically telling South Africans that I actually voted for the VAT hikes because I believe that this money is going to help South Africans with the high cost of living. This money is going to help South Africans with the service delivery. He was talking about the things that have been spoken about over the past 30 years and being failed to be achieved. But for some reason, he actually believes that in this time, this thing are going to be feasible. It is quite embarrassing, man, to look at some of these old political guys and listen to what they say, because the proof is in the pudding. If you want to look at how these people have actually been conducting themselves, just look at how the country is. Just look at how the country is, man. Just look at how the country is. But today, they want you to believe that, no, this money needs to be, this money needs to be saved so that they can be an improved service delivery. Musimaimane got into politics by actually talking bad about the ANC. Musimaimane was telling South Africans that the ANC is corrupt, the ANC can never, it is corrupt beyond. But now we are saying, no, guys, I support this VAT hikes because I believe that this money should be put into economy. Now this guy is talking about economy, about the same political party that he used to criticize all of these years. But for some reason, he wants South Africans to actually fall into all of these things that he's saying. It is a mess, man, in South Africa, man. It is a mess. I don't want to lie.
Where does the money come from? So a combination of all this is exactly what we are learning and what we have learned from this. So there is a silver lining, much as it has been a major hiccup, a major problem, but it's a problem that has its own solutions. And on the 21st, we are going to solve this problem and then move on. So nothing is really broken. We are going to resolve this problem as we move on.
And man, I really have to give it to Cyril Ramaphosa, man. Cyril Ramaphosa, man, this guy, you know, when it comes to Cyril Ramaphosa, undermine Cyril Ramaphosa at your own peril, man. This is what I actually saw about Ramaphosa. If you undermine Cyril Ramaphosa, man, undermine Cyril Ramaphosa at your own peril, man. I never thought that Cyril Ramaphosa could actually manage to draw up something like the Government of National Unity with the Democratic Alliance and still disempower the Democratic Alliance after the DA has voted for him to be the president of this country, because it is a fact. Without the votes of the DA, Cyril Ramaphosa was not going to be the president. Thoko Didiza was never going to be the Speaker of the Parliament. Panyaza Lesufi was never going to be the Premier of Gauteng. These people were voted in by the DA, and they told the DA that, guys, just listen to us. If you vote for us, we are telling you, we're going to work well together. And this guy gave the DA small ministers, and cut some of the ANC ministers to make sure that the comrades are still eating. So if you look at the cabinet today, the ANC has lost the elections, totally lost the elections. But if you look at the number of the ministers that the ANC has, you can see that nothing has basically changed. So undermine Cyril Ramaphosa at your own peril. I'm sure even if the finance minister of the ANC right now comes with a fiscal framework that consists of the VAT hikes, this guy is still going to find a way to actually get it through. This is what Cyril Ramaphosa is not about. And I actually respect that about him. I respect that about him, man, because this guy is a master tactician. What it says about these other small political parties and these small politicians in this country, it just tells you how naive and ignorant these people are. How naive and ignorant these people are. And if you think that these people have actually learned something from this VAT hikes that were scrapped by the courts, if you think that these political parties have actually learned something, man, I'm telling you, there's a lot there's a lot that is coming. So guys, I don't know, Godongwana says that he's not going to resign. Cyril Ramaphosa says that we are a growing democracy, so we cannot afford to fire people like Godongwana. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Please tell me what you think. Go to the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye bye.